And chicken skewers.
Okay. All right. Welcome. We're back with the new season. Okay, so I'm not even sure I learned this mammer at my wedding because I don't recognize anything over here. And I am sure I learned it at my wedding. This is the book from my wedding, but I don't remember it at all. So there's actually two mammarim here. You have the first original mammer that was said at the Rebbe's wedding by his father-in-law, Friedrich Rebbe, in 1928. In 1928, maybe there was a few mammarim at the wedding, but this was, I guess, one of the mammer with the headline of Lecha Dodi Shabbos Nakabla, which obviously we say on Shabbos, Friday night, written by, what's his name? Anyone know? Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz in the 16th century. So he wrote this line.
How do you go to Tzvas?
Tzvas makes sense.
How do I know?
There's a story about it.
Okay. And then in 1958 maybe. So the Rebbe said his own mimer with the same title based on this mimer. In 1954, 25 years later, on his anniversary probably, he said this mimer again with his own added his own stuff. So we'll learn the first one. They're much shorter than the last one in 3 parts. I think we could do it in 3 times, maybe even 2. I'd only got through the first part. I'm literally not teaching this mimer. I'm learning it with you.
Why did you choose this?
Because we wanted to learn about Mashpia
sure.
Makabel. I think it's also good to understand what a wedding is, even though we're all so married, but maybe it gives us some good insight. And that's why we chose it. Yeah. And then once it was chosen, I don't know why. It's just a Shecha Pratis. So we'll roll with it. Yeah? All agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Or forever hold your peace. Okay, so that's my introduction, and then I'm gonna read I'm gonna read through it. It's very different than last time. Like the Rebbe Shabbat really expands and goes on on one point with all of these examples, and it wasn't so Kabbalistic. I don't think it was pretty practical. This is a little more Kabbalistic, I guess, a little more different levels and spheres and that type of stuff. But let's see what happens. Okay. Here we go. The Chadai Diligers Kalap and Shabbos Nakabla. Come, my beloved, let us meet the bride, let us welcome the Shabbos. Vihine Shabbos Nikras Kalab Nikras Malka, the Kamamer Shabbos Malkasa. Shabbos is called the Kala, and it's called the Queen. Like we say Shabbos Malkasa, Shabbos the Queen. The Shabbos Queen. Yeah. Dehine Chasen Lakala Hare Chasen Nikra Melech Kadisa Bepirka Der Lezer Perak Design Chasen Dem Lamelech Lakala Nikras Malka. A Chasen is called the king, the groom is called the king. Like it says Chasen Dem Lamelech, a Chasen is compared to a king, and the Kala is called Malka, queen. Dehine Ksiv Nasa Adam B'Tzalmenu the Adam Shalamato B'Tzalm Admuvos Adam Ha'ayan Shehim Sasfiris Alyanis. It says, let us make the man in the image of God. So just like the man, the supernal man, the higher man is made up of spheres, attributes, so too the lower man is. So you have, I'm not a Kabbalist, so I don't want to pretend I understand all of it, but you have 10 spheres. Chachmi B'nei Adas, Chesed Gevurah Tiferes Netzach Haydi Soit Malchus. Chachma B'nei Adas, which is Chabad, are actually Moichen. They're in the brain. And then you have the maybe you'll call them emotions, that are 7 emotions. Chesed, Gevurah, kindness, severity, beauty, whatever, all that stuff. Those are the lower spheres, 7 spheres. In the 7 spheres alone, and this is how like everything is, let's just say there's how everything is created. It starts with Chachma, it gets developed, it turns into Midas till it comes down through the whole process, and that repeats itself over and over and over and over and over again. In the spheres itself, you have the 7 spheres, starting with Chesed to Malchus, and they get divided into 2. You have the higher 6 spheres. They're called Zah. Zah, Zer, which is Zer Ampin, it's a small face in Kabbalistic terms. The Atzilus, Nikra, Malka. In Atzilus, you have these 10 spheres. You also have them in Bria and Tzira. You have them everywhere, these 10 spheres. And in each sphere, you have all 10. But without getting into the whole Kabbalah of it, you have the 6 spheres, the higher ones, they're called the king. And like it says, every soul stands before the Holy King, and this is Zah of Atzilus. So in the world of animation, the highest world where things aren't even physical yet, it's very spiritual. There's these 10 spheres. We're not talking about Chachma. We're not talking about Chabad. We're only talking about the 7, not the 10. We're talking about the 7 spheres. So the higher 7 are the king, and every soul stands before the king. Before, I guess that's where it starts. With spheres of Malchus, Nikras Malchusa, and Malchus is called the queen, the lowest sphere. So you have 6, and the 7th one is called the queen. V'isa bezer, it says in the Zer, the Malka below Matrinasa, Lavi hu melech, Lavi hu gadol. The Ikar hu yichud zun. It says in Zer that a king without a queen is not a king, and he's not great. Because the main thing of a king is to have a union. If there's no union, there's no king. So a king needs a queen in order for him to be a king. I forgot to say that in the mammer he goes through the process of the wedding, explaining each of it and whatever. And it's mystical meaning, starting with the Kabbalah's Panim, of all the guests come and they greet the chassan, and then together they all go in a very joyous manner to meet the queen, to meet the bride. And then he explains, and then from there they go to the chuppah and explains the chuppah. So he goes through this whole process. But here he didn't start with that yet.
Be the first and last day to be queen. I don't know.
What's that?
It's like the first and last day to ever be a queen.
Well, if you married a king, you'd be a queen. If you married a queen, then you don't know me. Oh, bam, yeah. Treat your husband like a king, you'll be a queen. Beautiful.
Your husband likes it. He likes that thing.
Yeah. Love it.
And so when we feel the roles being uncoupled, then we can have much feeling, we can have that.
Yeah, well, that's I think we're definitely going that route.
Also, what is the queen that he sat down with both of us before we got married?
Okay, he's gonna explain. All right,
It does say that, like,
come back.
Come back.
Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back.
Come back.
When we say when we learn about it, we do how many does then all the 7, and Malchus at the bottom, but Malchus then is actually
The top for the next
center
level.
of the,
Right. Yeah.
So
Or
it's
that's
actually
only when Mashiach comes.
No. It's always the beginning. It's at the end until the beginning. Like,
connected to Kesser even in its own realm, no? Oh no, it's
I don't know, there's Das that sometimes is Kesser. Kesser or Malchus, I guess they're probably.
Isn't Malchus what connects the spheres to the earth, to the world?
Everything is created through Malchus. Like
Oh.
like the female. Like if you want to create something new, the man can't do anything on his own. He needs a female. So that's what Malchus is. It's the beginning of everything new also. So it's the beginning, but it's also at the bottom of the first stage. It's both. Like, naturally, if we're not Silas and we're going through all the spheres, so what creates now Bria, the lower level? Well, it starts with Malchus. And it goes to the elements again and again and again.
these days in Chabad is like half baked. We like don't really know what we're talking about, like semi.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Half
I
baked.
really have no idea. Lenny, can you explain? Do you guys know what the spheres are in nuclear to know?
No, I don't. I want to know. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah, like I said, I'm not a Kabbalist, so
Explain it really well.
I can't go, I'm not going to go through all the spheres. There's a
What
in
are
books.
they? What are the spheres?
But I guess
What
that's the
was
process of
created?
creation. So it wasn't like, in the last one we did very briefly, like, oh, there's Elikim, and he makes Kalim, and then there's Kalim, the ark, and it'll be worse. So what are these Kalim? These Kalim are the spheres. Those are Kalim. You have Chachma, you have Bina, you have Das, you have Chesed, Gvor. There's different energies.
Okay.
And each one includes the other one, and you can make tons of combinations with all these different spheres. And that's how you create something. It's like a full body. If you look, if you roll through Tzvas and you see paintings of the 10 spheres, you're gonna find like the right hand is Chesed, the left hand is Gevurah, the center is Tiferes, and then you have the lower parts, and the head is, there's a Keser on top. It's a full body. The 10 spheres are a full body, and we're created in that image. So like what we see with us, we're 10 spheres.
But not everyone is everything.
We have
everything.
Yeah, we have
Everyone is everything. It's not like when you're born you get certain things. Isn't that the thing? Or during Sphira, during Sphira.
Yeah.
Whoever's born during Sphira, they do get a certain Sphira. And let's say Chesed, if someone is Gvira, their personality is very, very strong. And depends on the day.
It depends what it's mixed with, I think. Gevurah, Shal,
Malchus, Shabbat, Tiferes, Chesed.
Yeah, each combination will be something different, something
exactly.
unique.
So that's
But you're built of all 10 spheres. Maybe your personality shines
Shines
a
out.
specific sphere. Yeah, definitely.
And within each Sephira, you have
According to
all
your
the
nature,
spheres
you'll have a
also.
different nature.
within each
It
sphere.
isn't- I wanna learn more.
But if you only had 9, you would be incomplete. You need
The
10
Jewish
spheres.
version of
horoscopes almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
But it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we believe in all this stuff. In the Mazalas, we don't want to
so
worship. We
horoscopes
don't
are more
worship
like
it.
Mazalas, right?
But
This is not entirely horoscopes.
But like the Rambam was speaking. Everyone speaks about the.
Zodiac sign.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So those are the spheres. In
Now
very,
you-
very
now
short.
I-
I don't know what you understand from it, but like we
No,
understand.
I understand
Right.
the words.
I think also maybe like Asar Amaris Nivra Ilam, the world is created with 10 utterances. They're probably connected with 10 spheres and all that stuff. So it's the process of everything.
Why are they called spheres?
I am born in
Doesn't that mean
sphere.
energy?
I will get back to you because there's a reason.
Whatever.
Oh.
We'll ask our local Kabbalist. I have a friend here, Yuri. He's a local Kabbalist. He'll know. Spheres, it has a.
So curious about that.
Mandy, what's your
Wait,
birthday?
she's going to Google it right now.
Your
When I
birthday?
come home, I'm gonna Google it.
Uh,
Oh no, he said Yudi
Yud
Brown.
Aleph Iyar.
Yudi Brown?
Oh, is it brown?
Yeah, Yudi
Oh, what
Brown.
is it?
Yeah, he
Maybe
said
High
Yudi.
Shabbat Tiferes?
Oh,
He knows a
Is
lot,
it?
so.
Well, that's a beautiful one, no?
Totally.
Kabbalist.
Beauty and
It's
beauty.
like,
Everything.
it's like the middle.
Right. Hard to down.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Okay, so how about we do after this? Because it's a whole like, I mean, you could,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a whole world on its own. I don't know.
I'm High Shabbat.
Yeah. Okay, come back again. All right. Okay, Uksiv.
Mandy, print out a graph next time so you can see
Okay.
what it is.
Uksiv.
That's the local Kabbalist.
Zachar unekeva. Zachar unekeva bara isam vayvarach isam elakim. It says that God created them. Focus. Okay, we need 2
Right,
minutes.
it's not also Jewish. Like,
There's lots of mysticism out there. There's
There's
Jewish
lots of
mysticism.
mysticism,
There's Muslim stuff also,
but
and like
based on the
But
spheres thing. A lot
Is it
based on the spheres, yeah.
For sure,
You ever see
yeah.
these graphs with like circles connected to each other.
I feel like it's like
That's the
different-
chakras, no?
she's the horoscopes, the chakras, all that
Chakras
stuff.
Is connected.
It's all
to
'cause
the
it's all
spheres.
based on
Oh, I
It's
didn't
just
know that.
energies.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
taken from that. Like,
yeah,
it's interesting.
yeah.
Okay, so
The
let's learn
Kabbalah
that
is
next.
flying all over the place. It's all
Right.
over everywhere.
Well, that's Buddhism, chakras, no?
No, it's not. It's
It
not.
just
Eating
is.
food is Christianity, you know.
No, I'm saying it's based off of religion.
I don't know.
No, shoppers.
We'll study Buddhism in the next,
I'd love to, honestly.
and then
I'd absolutely
we'll bring our local
love to.
Buddhist to give us.
I would love to.
Okay, so it says God created man in His image. What is His image? It's the 10 spheres, or here whatever, the 7. You have the 6, and then the 1, and then it says Zachar nekeva bara. He created them male and female, and He blessed them.
Each sphere is male and female?
Man. He created man in His image.
Oh.
And then the story goes on that He said, man, it's not good for him to be alone. He took a part of the man, made a woman out of it.
Why couldn't you make another man?
And then there are those that are going in that direction these days,
Yeah.
trying it out. We're experimenting. We'll see how it goes.
Like, what made it a different? Why did it have to make I always wondered why it had to be a different breed.
But maybe that's exactly the point there, because there's a mashpia and a makabel, and that makes
Right.
a perfect combination.
Yeah.
2 kings, none of them are king.
Also, we're here to have challenges, so we wouldn't have challenges and we wouldn't have options.
Right. So He created Adam. He said it's not good for Adam to be alone. So He created a woman to be kenegdai. Just on a side note here, on a side part, that what does it mean? He created a woman against him. So it says
Negative.
negate him. So like
Right.
either
Oh, I just messaged
What is negative?
and it says Azer kenegdai.
These are connected. It's
a
someone
help
to
against
against
him.
him, right?
Right. So
Just about.
He's waiting for his cousin.
I'm using the call back.
Pause.
no, I'm not even pausing. We're going all organic today. Did I fast? Yeah, I fast. Yeah.
I expect people that fast to be laying on the floor dead.
Uh,
No, it's not
your
like
question
on the
looks
floor
like
dead.
that.
Anyone that's
My
a
husband
mom.
also, no.
He's dead on the floor. Just literally.
Are you sure?
Yeah, young.
I want cookies cake. You can buy it over here, but that's it's sorry.
Sorry, I interrupted.
there's thousands of people that listen to this podcast, so they should know that the kugel just came
I
and
heard that
cake.
Shady absolutely loves it. I'm just saying.
Who?
He's one of the thousands.
Yeah.
There's
Wait,
maybe
is this ours?
there's not
Yeah,
thousands.
yeah, I brought it because
Oh, yeah.
it was in our bag. Yeah.
But I feel like they should know like why there's this big break in middle and we're laughing because there's kugel and there's
The
cottage
whole
cake
bring in
and
here,
it's
hello?
amazing.
Next time we have three ribs or something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No risk.
Okay. And now I'll just pause. And then there's the pasuk that says Zachar unakeva bara isam vayvarach isam alekim. That He created them male and female. First He created a man. Then He realized that the man needs a partner, so He created the woman. Only after that does it say vayvarach isam alekim that He blessed them. Before that, man alone wasn't worthy of a blessing, until he had a female partner, and the blessing to them was to be fruitful and to multiply. Yeah. So man alone, his whole mission is to be fruitful and multiply, but alone he can't do it. So he's not worthy of that greater blessing of being like his creator that he can create. Until he has his partner, a female partner, then they're worthy of the blessing together. And I heard from our local Kabbalist once, I don't know if it's written or he was just saying, but on this pasuk, Zachar Nekeva Bara Isam, the simple pshat is obviously He created female and He created male. Everything that's created has a male and a female partner, plants, everything is, even in like tools and in screws, you have the females and the males. There's always male and female. He's also, whatever, he told me, in everything itself, there's male and female. So if anything you take on its own also has to be a female and a male part. The man alone has male, female. The woman alone has male, female. Every emotion has its male side and its female side. And it's not coming to me like a good example of how it plays out, but it's true. Then, so that's a side note. There's always male, female in everything. Okay. So because of this, here we're talking about the Kabbalah's Panim part of the wedding. He's explaining what goes on. So the Shabbos just like Shabbos needs to be received with joy, because Shabbos is is what gives blessing to the rest of the week. And there's two ways to view it, that either like maybe he's going to speak about it soon. Or, I don't know. No, that like you have the first 6 days of the week leading into Shabbos, and then on Shabbos you get to reap the rewards of the whole week. But there's also the aspect of from Shabbos alone you get the energy to go into the next week. And therefore the coming week is always better than the previous week because you're taking all the energy from Shabbos going into the week coming ahead of you. So Shabbos is a day that blesses the rest of the week. It's the queen, remember? Shabbos is the queen, the Shabbos queen. All days are blessed from Shabbos. So too, when we go to greet the queen, we go to greet the Kala, we have to go with a lot of joy, because all blessings from on high come through the Kala. V'hine yisoid maimer zed el chadoy legas Kala ben Shabbos nakabla shemer b'kabbalas Shabbos hu t'isa b'gemara Shabbos kapitat amalaf v'rechinini meyatef b'gudei noyim v'kayo yapanya d'male Shabbata amar boy v'nitzil Shabbos amalka rabbiani lava shmani b'gdei Shabbos mala Shabbos amar boy chala hachi karla l'shvisas malka metechevis. Rashi here says, where does this like expression come from? That the Shabbos is the Shabbos queen. So he brings from Gemara. You have Rabbi Chanina would say, let us put on our greatest, our nicest clothes and welcome the Shabbos queen. And Rabbi Yanai would also something with his clothes and say, come my bride, come Kala, come Kala. So that's where the expression comes from. Shabbos. B'chol miloi tzarech li toisafa mechol ala kodesh beim machalav beim mishtav beim levasha beim hasiba saj the tzarech lataknen le misiba shapira b'kama karim uchsois mirakmon mekol deis bevese command the taken chuppah lakala the Shabbos i malkasa v'i kala. And in Zohar brings down that in your preparation for Shabbos, whether it be food, drink, clothing, lounge, it's just how you hang out, all the reclining birds and the pillows and the embroidery and everything should be from the best of the best that's in the house. Just as one prepares a marriage chamber for the bride. Because Shabbos is the queen, Shabbos is the bride. So that's where the expression originally comes from. Like why did this composer say Shabbos? We have in the Gemara that Shabbos is compared to a queen, and also in the Zohar the Shabbos is compared to a queen. V'hainu d'chshem sh'Shabbos hi mekar brachas k'moy kein simchas chasam mekala v'kabalas pneim hi mekar brachas. So just like Shabbos is the gateway to blessing, so too this joy that we have when we greet the chasam and the kala, that is what brings blessing into the couple, I guess. Yeah? I don't know. Like I said, I'm just learning this with you because I don't have any big insight. Okay, so we're going through the wedding ceremony here. Okay, so there's a Kabbalas Panim. What happens? They're except in Lubavitch where we're all like crying at the Kabbalas Panim and we put on our most emotional music, which doesn't mean it's not joyous, but it doesn't look like what we imagine joy in other weddings that I've been to. Everyone's jumping and dancing and they're playing Yaakov Shweki, and then we go and the chassan comes and meets the bride, and it's all very joyous.
Oh yeah?
Are you guys-
My house also not.
It's not a just by you either?
Oh, it's an emotional.
It's an emotional part when they go for the Badaka.
I think because
Yeah, they don't
it's
do
emotional
dancing there?
affair. I think they're nervous. It's not emotional because
I
it's
think
there,
also,
it's
like-
real connection. It's everyone is panicking. Like, who's gonna work?
It's
Who
also
are
like a
you?
special
I
thing,
never
like,
saw you before.
they see the grandparents are walking with them also, so it becomes like an emotional time, like dead grandparents. Dead grandparents.
Why? It's not I don't think it's a contradiction to joy. Joy is not necessarily jumping and singing. It's very deep joy. But like I guess I've seen at other weddings where I'm like, why are they all like just smiling? I'm like, we need to be crying now. This is like the rules of Bedekin. You go and you cry. Why is everyone laughing? But like what he's saying here is when you go and meet the bride, you come with a lot of joy, because this is where all the blessing is going to come from.
You said a sentence and you just kind of went over it, which I really
Which one?
got. That sentence is that the blessings, all blessings of life come through the bride. And I thought that was a very, you just kind of, I think that's
It
really
was
quick.
so clear. Like,
I know,
what's
I think
more
it's
to
something-
say?
I think it's so, to
Yeah.
pause and think about that, that
But-
the blessings of the world or your home or your life
Yeah,
come through the female
comes through the
energy.
queen.
But we pay the price, you know that.
Comes
We
through the
have
queen.
emotions more than anyone else. And we have
It
to
doesn't
deal.
take away. It doesn't take away. But
No,
the
it
beauty
doesn't.
of that
That's
is it's so empowering.
That's very.
That you
Yeah.
that you have the, or I have the. I'm the channel where blessings come into it.
Yeah,
If I'm open and willing,
yeah.
it doesn't have to.
Right.
That's where the malchus comes in. That's why it's the lowest, but it's also the first to the new beginning. Because you can have the first 6 levels. They could be great, but nothing comes out of them. They can't do anything on their own. They need the queen to actually. Yeah,
We're special.
So,
very, very special. It's very
Yell
special.
from the rooftops, bitch, I'm a queen.
So you know,
I would love to
Mush.
do that.
We're just explaining the Kabbalah's Panim. Why is there so much joy at the Kabbalah's Panim? So just like we greet Shabbos with a lot of joy,
yeah.
why? Because Shabbos is the blessing for the whole week. So it's appropriate to be joyous on that day.
Yeah.
So too, when we go and greet the queen at her wedding, greet the bride, we come with a lot of joy. And then he ends saying that the joy that's there, not just around the bride, he says around the chassan and the kala, that is the joy that is the source of all blessing. I guess like in the original version, when he created Zachar and Nekeva, when he created the female also, then they're both worthy of a blessing now. So it kind of comes through the female. The man alone is not worthy of a blessing. With the female, now they're both worthy of the blessing. Yeah. Yeah, it's a complete package. So that's the Kabbalah's Panim. Now he's moving on to the Chuppah. What is the Chuppah? The Hineksiv Ki al kol kavet chuppah shehem beis bechinas kvoit chasan and kvoit kala. So there's this nevuah. I'm going to read it. It's interesting. It says, when the Lord will have washed the filth of the daughters of Zion and rinsed the blood of Jerusalem from her midst with the spirit of judgment and a spirit of purging, God will create over every structure of Mount Zion and over those who assembled in it a cloud by day and smoke and glow of flaming fire by night. For over all honor there will be a chuppah. I just like the purging part of it, that as we go through our own Gehennims over here, we're actually being cleansed. It's not just to hurt us. It's to cleanse and get rid of all the filth. And then we will be honored to have the grand chuppah of Mashiach. But it says we're a kol kavod. So if he's medayak. That what is to call on all honor there'll be a chuppah. What are all the honor? So there's 2 honors. You have the honor of the chassan and the honor of the kala, which is okay. In a second, I'll explain. The chassan is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Who is the chassan? The chassan is God. U'kamaymer b'yom chassanasai, on the day of his wedding, zu matan tarad. HaKadosh Baruch Hu nikras chassan, u'knesset Yisrael nikras kala. On the day of his wedding, what is the day of his wedding? This is matan Torah. God gave us. He was the giver on that day, and we were the receiver. He was the chassan, the one that gives, and we were the receivers, the kala. We got the Torah. The kavod, what is the honor? Hu bechinas ma'akev, it's surrounding. So the chassan comes with his love for his bride, and it's a love that surrounds her completely. And the bride has the love for the chassan, which surrounds him completely. And then you have a chuppah, which takes it on and surrounds both their loves into one package. Quite chassan avos HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'knesset Yisrael. The honor of the chassan is the love that Hashem has for us, for Yidden. Like it says, I loved you, says God. Ukvayt kala, what is the honor of the kala? That's avos knesset Yisrael l'Kadosh Baruch Hu, the love that we have for Hashem. My soul is expiring towards you. That's the love that we have. We want to go up to Hashem, to expire. The same word of kala. Interestingly, kala is the same word as kleis, like kleis nefesh, to expire. So the kala, not females, all of Klal Yisrael, Jewish people, we are the bride to God, and we want to go up and expire into God's presence. And Hashem comes down to us and gives us the Torah. That's Him. His love for us. So what can be, we need something that is even greater than the love that the Chassan has for the Kala and the Kala has for the love, to surround both of them. That is what the chuppah is. That's what the chuppah represents. It's about when Chassan and Kala come together, you have an even greater revelation of godliness that surrounds both of them. That's what the chuppah is. So, he's talking here about the Kala being the Jewish people and the Chassan being the Eibishter, and when we bond, there's an even greater revelation of godliness that comes over, like both of us, if that makes sense, because if God's part of it, but it's an even greater godliness that surrounds both of us. That's the Chavah. So too is down here, the Seder Hu She'Rabayim Reva'am, the Kabel Pnei Chassan. We have the same thing here at a wedding. Everyone comes, then they greet the Chassan. Everybody together goes with the Chassan, the Kabel Pnei Kala, to receive the face of the Kala, to receive the Kala. The Chassan comes and covers the Kala's face, and they go to the chuppah together. So what is this concept? The b'chol aliyas hamakabel ela mashpia. Tzarich liyas tchila hamshachas hamashpia bebechinat chitzonis shabar lebechinat chitzonis hamakabel. Anytime the nature of the makabel, the nature of the one receiving, is to want to be elevated to the level of the makabel, to receive. But before that happens, the mashpia, the giver, has to lower himself and connect on an external level to the receiver.
You mentioned that once before.
I will, yeah.
You mentioned that once before, right?
Kidei, we learned a lot about it in the other mammer,
okay.
so that gives us good background. Yeah, let me just finish these two lines here. Kidei sha'idei ha'mshachazu u'lech l'makabel lisas atzmei l'salas li'yos karav l'mederges ha'mashpia v'az yikal ha'mshach ha'mashpia. Why does this have to happen? Because before there can be an internal transmission, there needs to be an external one, so that there's some connection. And then he can go to a much deeper connection. They can connect on a much deeper level. So let's go to Mashiach Kabbalah. He's going to give an example. I think he gives examples in the next thing. But like we know from, let's say, a teacher and a student, he's going to talk about a teacher and a student and a father and a son. So,
their spousal relationship doesn't have to be vulnerable.
Let's go to we'll leave the spousal out for a second. But we can go to the original example of us being the Kala and Hashem being the Chassan. Like, how do we connect if there's no connection? So we need an external connection first. So he gives an example of a teacher and a student. So Rabbah, from the Gemara, before he started his class, he would say a joke. I don't know if it was a joke or something that was just to get people in the mood, so to speak. So that creates a very external connection. It's not as great wisdom that he's giving to them, but in order for there to be there needs to be some connection before we can go to the depths.
When a teacher plays basketball with our students.
Yeah, that creates relativity. Now I can give you what's really going on in my mind that's deep. We can connect on a deeper level. So, So yeah, that's the concept of when a mashpia wants to connect with them. The makabel wants to receive from the mashpia. That's what it wants. But before that could happen, it's actually the mashpia's job to bring himself, don't call it lower if you want, but to connect on a level that's possible. When we talk about mashpia makabel, we're talking about like, let's go to the Yadaita back there. We're talking about someone that has this, huge amount of seichel and wants to give it to a child. They can't just give it to them. There's no one to receive it. So he needs to lower himself. You need to lower yourself. The next example is about a father and a son. The father wants to connect with his son. Before he can do that, he has to bend down and pick him up. And then they play face to face. When the kid's being lifted up, he doesn't see any connection in it. He doesn't even know it's his father. It could be anyone. He's being lifted.
What happens in
But
a
there's some
partnership?
connection there externally.
There are different levels to begin with. What happens in a partnership? Like a marriage, right?
Yeah.
It's very different when like for someone to lower themselves, who's lowering themselves? The husband?
No one's lowering themselves, but they put
No.
themselves into the other situation, like holding the space for each other. Isn't that what it means?
I think the word lowering is like was a key word for me.
We might have to just continue. We'll have to finish the whole mammer, I guess. We may have to finish the whole mammer. You're forgetting one part here, and you're getting distracted with the high-low. All the blessing comes through the makabel. Okay, don't forget.
And it comes from the queen.
The king alone is nothing without a queen. So it's not like he's higher and he's coming down. Without the lower thing, he's not higher. He's nothing. He's irrelevant without the queen.
I think what in my brain the way I'm understanding is that there's a partnership that man has to go into a female world of emotional connection, right? Or something that might not be so natural for a male instinct. He might have to not lower himself, but like Dory said, like go into the other person's space and world to connect. It's more like the male's job, if like
yes,
to have to like
yes, as the mashpia,
yeah.
and you want to be if you want to be a giver, you lower yourself to the
Take out the word lower.
you bring yourself to the receiver space.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. It's not lower or higher,
It's
but that's just we say a higher level. What does higher mean? What is it? Higher elevation?
Intellectual. It's not like
Right.
bring yourself to the
Okay. Okay. If that works.
If it works.
All right. To put this into context, there's one male here and 5 women trying to explain what the tough crowd. No, it's okay. I also gave so much PC about everyone's male, female. It's not, and this is chassan. We're all kalas in the God's presence. So it's not me, and then there's you. I'm male. You guys are all female. Like, it's concepts. See it conceptually, and then you can apply it. If you get too personal about this, and then maybe you're turning off your ability to receive. And if you don't receive, then the blessing isn't coming through. I don't know. Like, receive it as information. It's not personal. It's not lower, higher, whatever you need. It's not a problem. Yeah, but we're learning this for the first time, so we'll get through it and then we'll apply it. Right. Okay, so let's get practical. Marriage, intimacy. If the male wants to, he's giving something over to the female, right? In their intimacy. If he just shows up, I'm ready to give. It doesn't work. He has to not lower himself, but bring himself into the space of the makabel. Have an external connection before there's an internal transmission.
Absolutely, because for a man it would be fine to just be like, let's go. Thank you.
Right, so he's not really being a mashpia on that, since he's only into his own needs, which isn't...
Right, which I get, which is why the word lowering was hard for me.
Okay, so not lowering, but he needs to enter the space of the receiver.
Just to take it into concepts right now. Now I'm like...
Yeah. So you as a mother, you want to give something to your child. And if I say, you're going to lower yourself to the level of the child, you have no problem with that, right?
What are you trying to get at?
I'm just trying to say that it's the same concept. Forget lower or higher. I'm just using that word.
I'm not ready to work through this word right now. I just want to get through the bringing and...
Okay, so I'm saying when you come to your child and you want to give them a lesson, if you remain in your space of just...
No, I get that.
So you lower yourself to their level.
Bring myself to their space.
So we bring yourself to their space. Okay, so it's the same thing in the... Okay. Okay, no, but I'm saying if we weren't using male, female, and we're using parent, child, lower would be okay, correct?
No, but parent, child already
Okay,
different
so
levels.
I'm just trying to say that when we say bring to space or lower higher, I want to say it's the same.
No, 'cause
I'm
you're
not ready
so
to get
much-
rid of the lower higher.
No, we're not.
I want lower higher.
I hear that, but when you're talking about teacher and student, parent and child, you're coming already at two different spaces. When you're coming like a relationship, a spousal relationship, or any interpersonal relationship of like two adults, you're coming as equals. You might be different, but you're coming at the same end. You're not coming with one.
They socialize on
But
the
in-
You ever
But in
experienced?
reality, in friendships, we always have a giver and a receiver.
Yeah.
No, but that roles
You know?
always are fluctuating.
Yes,
Right,
even in a
exactly.
marriage. I was gonna say, you ever experienced your husband as a 3-year-old?
Or as a
And you
woman.
couldn't just yell at him to grow up. You had to like come down to his level. Come down. Okay, he's pretty low.
You have to walk out and then breathe.
Okay, whatever it takes for you.
Sometimes you can't do that.
Whatever it takes for you to be able to enter his space, which is lower. Okay, he's acting like a 3-year-old.
I hear
That
you.
happens. So yes, we
But
switch
in
these
ideal-
roles.
In an ideal, like,
In an idea,
utopia,
utopia, entering their space, it's not higher, it's not lower.
why do you have a problem with saying entering with space versus higher now? I'm just
I have
curious
no-
why it's so like, that's good. That's good.
Why I want to keep the higher lower thing?
Which is why you consider it this.
I don't think it needs to
I don't
explain
need to.
itself.
I don't know.
That's what you
No.
want.
No.
That's what you want.
He
It's
doesn't need
okay.
to. I'm asking. I'm not to ask.
Yeah, of course you would ask. I'm not even sure. I'm just because there's a certain element of it where, as the giver, you recognize that you have what to give, which puts you in a kind of a higher position. I'm going to give the student something, and for me to do that, I need to lower myself to their level. If I want to play with my kid, I can't remain standing and say, "Hey, let's play." I actually have to bend down and lower myself physically, and the same thing is emotionally sometimes or mentally. I'm lowering myself to their level. It doesn't mean they're low. My kid just happens to be 3 years old and shorter, and I have to go down there and pick him up to bring him to my level. So I'm not bringing him up. I'm just bringing him into my space. No, I'm actually picking him up. He's off the ground, floating in midair. He's higher than he was a second ago. So there is an element of lower, higher. And maybe if higher and lower wasn't bad or good, you wouldn't have a problem with it.
Right.
But you think
It's
it's
story-
bad or good. It's not bad or good.
derogatory.
It's just
Lower is
higher,
not a
lower.
derogatory term,
My
technically.
level of education is higher than someone else's. Good or bad? No.
It's
It's
the
just
story
how it
of
is.
We're connected to the words, absolutely.
Right. So that's why I don't really want to let it go, because there is a certain element of a mashpia is in a higher space. He's the higher spheres. Without the lower ones, he's irrelevant. That's why it's not better or worse.
Right.
It's just a matter of geographics. He's higher and she's lower. It doesn't matter. It's not good or bad.
Like Canada is higher than America.
Yeah.
No, there's a mashallah.
Yeah.
Canada's worse, so.
Yeah. So that's the end of the first section of this mimer. And I think he's going to explain more, like this is not about like, oh, you're mashpia, you're better, you're coming down. The whole point of the mimer is that without the makabel, the mashpia is nothing. And together with both of them, when he has this internal transmission that he gives over to the makabel, she's able to now elevate him to a higher space than if he was on his own.
It's like, yeah.
So there really is no higher lower, because today I'm higher, and then when I connect with you from my higher space and I bring you to my higher space, you become higher than me and start elevating me now to your space. So it's just this nice dance.
It's just a running theme to a lot of, I think, Marams, like the one with Moshe, when he talks about Moshe Rabbeinu.
That he got weak like a woman?
No, that he's the running Israel, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, he
like
feeds them.
But like that he needs,
He needs Moshe and we
we
need.
need, like,
yeah.
we needed the people needed him.
Yeah. Oh, he gets elevated through being our shepherd.
Yeah.
Through leading us, he's elevated as
Yeah.
well.
It's like the running theme.
Yeah. A mashpia is nothing. Because without a makabel, you're not a mashpia. You're just
You know, a speaker
Nothing.
Not a speaker without an audience.
yeah. There's no king without a people. That's the concept. So like, who's
many
greater?
replays on that.
You could be a blogger without any followers. You could be a speaker without any podcast members. You know.
Yeah, you can be a podcaster without editing. You can do whatever you want. But
You can't give a shit. No,
Yeah.
I think the culture is that we have to add
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
letting go of the stories associated with words.
yeah, you could get caught in that idea where the king says, "I'm all powerful. Look, I'm ruling all these people." But honey, like if they walk away, You're not a king anymore. You're not a king without a person. Do you have it? But you do have a ton of power as a king. You do, but that's a result of the people. They gave you that power, so recognize that. So you, Mr. Mashpia, or man, who's so awesome because he's higher than his wife, you're not actually higher unless you have a wife. So who gave you that height?
And also if it's working.
I don't know.
If it's a working relationship.
Yeah. 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 Okay, so now he wraps it up with a little kitzer. We'll just read that and then we'll close out this first section. But I think it's going to get way more interesting. We'll work out all these kings. This is great.
I got through this Mashpia Maksaba part. I got to
With your
understand
course?
it, with this course.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
How many waited like?
I'm
You're trying to put it into these,
yeah,
into
and
the...
like, I
We had
let
two
go
of
of the
yours.
triggers of like,
Right.
motives, so like
Right, relearn it as a new information.
And
Yeah.
like now I have to like
Yeah.
align.
Yeah.
What?
So good.
Yeah.
Like
So
it?
good. It's putting you to sleep. I know.
Okay. Actually, L'chaim, that was beautiful.